when you're not sure what direction to go, pick a direction and head that way until you can see the path better. Welcome to McBain Moments. So for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome to the Manor. Well, I'm actually not at the Manor. I'm in Meriden, Connecticut in a hotel right now, but welcome to the Manor. Please make sure you take a moment and hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time. So make sure you subscribe. So when you don't know where your life is taking you, for a lot of people, and this is something that I'm guilty of in the past as well. I'm just going to adjust my camera a touch here. A lot of people will simply set themselves in a holding pattern and say, well, I don't know what my next step is, so I'm not going to do anything. And the problem with doing this is it paralyzes you. You're paralyzed by the fear of choosing the wrong direction to go. And unfortunately, the vast majority of people, when they land themselves in that holding pattern, they stay there for the rest of their lives or far too long. And recovering from the holding pattern is very, very tough. Instead, when you find yourself in a position to be in a holding pattern, if you end up in a holding pattern, minimize the amount of time you have to stay there. Because there are going to be times when you can't make that next step for a couple of weeks or even a couple of months, hopefully not more than a year. And those are life circumstances. But if you allow yourself to become comfortable in the holding pattern, making that next step is going to be 100% harder. And so what you want to keep in mind is, okay, despite the fact that I know today I'm in a holding pattern, today I know things are going to be tougher, I need to be prepared to take the step out of the holding pattern just as soon as the opportunity arises. And it doesn't even have to be the right opportunity. Most of the people who get stuck in a holding pattern don't get stuck there because they pass up the right opportunity. It's because the wrong opportunity comes up, but they don't know it's the wrong opportunity, and they're too afraid to give it a chance. And so you don't learn what the right opportunity, you don't learn what the right path for you is until you've gone down other paths and decided that isn't the direction you wanted to go. It's a conundrum. It's a very tough conundrum because oftentimes walking down the wrong path can often set you back. And that's part of the cycle as well. You have to be prepared to handle setbacks, to handle running into roadblocks, to handle dealing with the things that are frustrating about picking the wrong path. This includes financial setbacks. Because if you don't do it at all, you're not going to get anywhere. And this is something I've seen members of my family do. I've done it myself. I ended up in a holding pattern for years, afraid to take the haircut necessary, the financial haircut or the social haircut, to step back from what I had been doing where I was stuck in a holding pattern and try a different path. And so when I did finally take the leap and try the different path, my life got 100% better. I wouldn't say overnight. It took a couple of years for it to get 100% better, but just from a stress standpoint, the relief came within weeks. And then from a quality of life standpoint, within a year, it was night and day. But you have to be willing to take that chance. When you get stuck and you notice the opportunity, you have to take the chance. And there are going to be times when you have to let chances go. And you say, okay, well, that would have been an awesome opportunity, but I understand I'm going to have to let that one go because, and you don't let the next one go. Because if you keep going, well, I got to let that one go. Well, I got to let that one go. Well, I got to let that one. That's where the holding pattern comes in. Holding patterns are the most destructive thing to you succeeding in whatever it is you decide you want to do. They absolutely are. Because it lets you get comfortable with the level you're at and tell you don't need to go any further. If you're not progressing, you're decaying. You must always strive for the next step. And again, that doesn't mean that you can push. It doesn't mean you're not going to have to stop for a little bit and take a break, or you're going to end up in a holding pattern while you wait for a circumstance to resolve itself. Those things happen, but you can't let them stop you for a long period of time. You have to be able to say, okay, I know exactly what's stopping me. I know exactly what's going to resolve it. And as soon as it's resolved, we're back on the road. And in the event you're looking at it and go, well, I don't know when it's going to be resolved, look for another road. It might just be that that's the end of the line. If you back up, there was a crossroads back there about 100 meters. Take a left. Okay? These are things you can do. These are things you need to do. Never, ever, ever let yourself be stopped for long periods of time, or else you're going to start decaying. Think about what in your life you've been stuck in a holding pattern on. And ask yourself, what's a different road I can take? Good luck out there. Subscribe. This has been a McBain moment.